We are in the middle of a pet custody case involving a dog. My client hasn't seen the dog for several years, and this case has been meandering through the courts. And then she hired us at the beginning of this year. And recently, the case was at the appeals court before just a single justice who reviewed the paperwork, and for the first time in Massachusetts, he wrote the following words that we've wanted to hear but never heard before. That while the dog may be property, he's not ordinary property. He's not a jointly owned baseball card collection to be divided up among the parties after they split. The dog ought to be considered part of the family. He went on to say that when making decisions about shared custody arrangements, that courts should consider the best interests of the animal, and that an assessment of should go beyond the traditional factors to include some consideration of the animal's best interest. So this is now out there in Massachusetts, that we have a case that's telling judges you should start to look at what's in the animal's best interest in the specific cases of joint shared custody once that's proven. This does not mean that Massachusetts has wholly adopted what's in the best interest of the animals. It just means that we got one judge at a very high court to give an opinion that these are things that should be considered. He based most of his case holding off of our prior victory in the Lyman case. So, as you know, Brett Lyman with Teddy Bear, he was a crusader to show that two people who aren't married can share in property, in the sharing of the dog, and that can be enforceable as long as they had previously an agreement to share the pet. That opened a lot of doors, and now one of them we've finally gone through, which is the court should now consider in specific instances what's in the best interest of the dog or the pet. So it's a start. It puts us in the top 9 states, I would say, in the country. There's 8 other states who have adopted this type of a concept further than us, but it has definitely advanced the status of pets under the law in Massachusetts, and really is recognizing the non-traditional considerations of how people should be allowed to share a pet, and how they should have to care for the pet. So a pet is now a special type of property in Massachusetts. We've known that, but now we're starting to get the court decisions to show that.